Hello, readers. Welcome to another reading class with me, Miss Taylor. I am glad you're here. So, let's get ready to read. Do we have our textbook? Check. Bookmark or finger to follow along. Workbook. Got my workbook. Pencil. Check. Some things to remember. We're going to track with our finger. We're going to read each word carefully, and we're going to pay attention to end marks. Some of our goals, we're going to read with accuracy and expression. We're going to understand what's happening in the story. We're going to make connections to characters' feelings. We're going to enjoy the story. All right, we know that reading is thinking. There's so many things going on in our brains as we are reading. Thank you, brain. All right, so please join me on, not lesson 28, Miss Taylor, you're on the wrong slide. I gotta go ahead here. There we go. Actually, before we look at page 29, we have a new vocabulary sentence. Ooh. So, our new sentence is, the new exhibit displayed mysterious fish. Ooh, there's some mysterious fish there. So, an exhibit has things arranged for people to see. An exhibit of rocks would have rocks arranged for people to see. What would an exhibit of fish have? Yeah, fish arranged for people to see. So if you make some sort of an exhibit, you sort of arrange it and make it look nice so that people can see it. You probably have some descriptions and some labels so people would know what they were looking at. All right, another word for show is display. When you show something, you display it. So if you were showing, if you wanted to show your strength by lifting weights, you could say, I displayed my strength by lifting the weights. All right, if you wanted to, or another way of saying they showed the large pumpkins they had grown, you could say they displayed the large pumpkins they had grown. And the new exhibit displayed mysterious fish. Things that you don't understand are mysterious. A fish that you don't understand is a mysterious fish. Everybody, what would you call a volcano that you don't understand? Yeah, mysterious volcano. All right. So again, our new sentence is, the new exhibit displayed mysterious fish. What word means showed? Displayed. What word means an arrangement of things for people to look at? Yeah, an exhibit. What word describes things we don't quite understand? Mysterious. Nice job. All right, let's go ahead and now would you please join me? I'm on lesson 29. So we are on page 143 in our textbooks. Looks like this. 143, and we have some words that we are going to read first. Let's take a look at column 1. Word 1 is breath. What word? Breath. Your breath is the air you take in or let out. If you hold your breath, you're not taking in air or letting it out. Everybody, what do we call the air you take in or let out? Yeah, your breath. Sometimes when it's really cold out, like in the wintertime, and we go outside and we can see our breath. Looks like a little cloud. All right. If you do add an E to that word, it becomes a verb. So if you add an E, it's the word breathe. But in this first word, there's no E, so it's the word breath, which is a noun. Breath. All right. Word 2 is shriek. What word? Yeah, a shriek is a very sharp scream. A shriek is not a nice sound. Everyone, what do we call a sharp scream? A shriek. I can almost just hear it. I'm imagining what it sounds like. It's like, ee! Like a, not a nice sound. You probably don't want to shriek right now or your parents might get scared. So you could go and ask your parents. You could say, Mom and Dad, could I Could I do a practice shriek? So ask them first, otherwise they might get a little freaked out because it's not a nice sound. All right. Word 3 is leathery. Huh. So we know leather is something that's made from animal skin. But if something is leathery, it looks or feels like leather. Here's another way of saying his skin looked like leather. His skin was leathery. So if something is leathery, it looks like leather, which is made from animal skin, is very tough, and it can also be very soft. Some shoes are made out of leather. Some people have jackets made out of leather. You could maybe ask your parents around your house. Say, do we have something that's made of leather? Sometimes people use leather to make clothing, or like in our last story about Umu and Ulak, people who live in places like Alaska where it gets very cold. A lot of times they make clothes and boots out of leather because it's really strong animal skin. All right. And word 4 is immediately. What word? Yeah, immediately, right now, immediately. Like if you were running late and your parents said, we need to leave immediately. You're like, okay, let's go. All right, let's try the fast way. Word 1 is breath, shriek, leathery, immediately. All right, nice job. Column 2. Word 1 is clearing. What word? Yeah, a clearing is a space in a forest or jungle where there are no trees. So if you go into a jungle or a forest and there's lots of trees all around, and then you come to a place that doesn't have trees, kind of like an open area in a forest or a jungle, that's called a clearing. So word 2 is dense. What word? Word 3 is driven. What word? Word 4 is practiced. What word? Word 5 is terrible. What word? And word 6 is terribly. What word? All right, nice job. Let's try it the fast way. Clearing, dense, driven, practiced, terrible, terribly. Nice job. All right, column 3, word 1. What word? Yeah, if you have good sense, well, first of all, if you have good sense, it means like, oh yeah, you're doing the right thing. That makes sense. Sometimes you say like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But if you have a good sense of sight, that means you can see well. If you have a good sense of hearing, that means you can hear well. If you have a good sense of smell, you can smell well. So let's see, what's another way of saying he can hear very well? Yeah, he has a good sense of hearing. Nice job. Word 2, what word? Pond. Word 3, what word? Word 4? Word 5. Word 6. Nice job. Let's try it the fast way. So we're in column number 3 now. Sense, pond, club, thick, spread, stared. Nice job. And column 4. All right. Let's see. Column 4, word 1. Word 2. Word 3. Word 4. Word 6. Nice job. So these words are kind of very similar. So word 1 is groove. Word 2 is grove. Word 3 is steam. Word 4 is stream. And word 5 is tail. Word 6 is trail. All right, let's try it the fast way. Groove, grove, steam, stream, tail, trail. Nice job. All right. So let's go ahead and read our story. So we're on part B, footprints. All right, and remember yesterday when we were reading, so Edna and Carla spent a long night on the beach. Remember they saw, or in the middle of the night, a noise woke them up, and then they could see a faint outline of a creature, and they could hear kind of crashing and bending sounds, almost like the creature was walking through the forest. And then when they woke up, well, actually before they woke up, then they spent the rest of the night under the lifeboat. So they kind of slept under the lifeboat. And then when they woke up, they saw huge footprints in the sand that were a yard long. In the red sand. Oh. There was a row of footprints in the red sand. The footprints of the animal were a yard long. Each footprint had 3 toes. How many toes do you have? The size of the footprints told Edna something about the size of the animal. What would those huge footprints tell you about the size of the animal? Yeah, the animal must be pretty huge too. The footprints made very deep dents in the sand. These deep dents told Edna something about how much the animal weighed. So we know that the footprints were big. They were huge, in fact, so the animal was probably huge, but they were also deep. So what does that tell us about the weight of the animal if the dents, the footprints that it made, were very deep? Yeah, that animal must have been very heavy, because if, like my cat here, if Bob were walking in the red sand, hey Bob, if Bob was walking in the red sand, she would not make very deep dents for footprints, because she does not weigh very much. You wouldn't leave deep dents, would you, Bob? No, because she doesn't weigh very much. She maybe just weighs like 8 or 9 pounds, maybe 10 pounds. She's putting on a little winter weight. Anyway, so, you say hi again, Bob? Oh, Bob is ignoring me. Oh, hi. Hey, Bob. Okay. Anyway, so the animal must have been very heavy if it left deep dents in the sand. All right. Let's see. Between the footprints was a deep groove in the sand. Carla asked, what could make that deep trail? So everybody, let's look at the picture. Can you see that groove in the picture? This groove right between the footprints. What could make that groove? Like a rope or something? Or like a branch or a tail? You know, if Bob was walking, would she leave a groove from her tail? Where's your tail, Bob? Here it is. Your little tail. Well, normally when cats walk, they lift their tails up, but maybe if a creature had a tail that dragged behind, that could be. Oh, Bob is so sleepy. Okay. You sit there. Okay. Well, let's find out what made that groove. Suddenly, Edna shouted, a tail! I bet a tail did that. That animal is walking on its hind legs. It's dragging a heavy tail behind it. The tail makes the groove in the sand. For a while, the girls walked around the footprints and didn't say anything. Then they looked toward the jungle. So they're just kind of walking around looking at these huge footprints. I bet they're just like, is this real? Are these real footprints? And is this like some kind of a real creature? The animal had left a huge path through the jungle. On either side of this path were thick vines and trees, but the path was almost clear. So this animal, this creature, was able to knock down these heavy trees and branches and vines. It looked as if somebody had driven a truck through the jungle and knocked down all the small trees and vines. Whew. Everyone touch the path that goes into the jungle in the picture on page 143. See that path that goes into the jungle there? Can you see any trees that were knocked over? Yeah. Edna said, I don't think we should go into that jungle. Yeah, we shouldn't do it, Carla said. The girls were silent for a few moments. They just stood there and looked at the great path that led into the jungle. Then Carla said, But we could follow that path for a little way. We don't have to go too far. Ooh, they're really brave. Are they going to go in that path? Yeah, for a little bit. Bob, are you listening to the story? What do you think? Should the girls follow the path into the jungle? Maybe just for a little ways? Bob wants to be in the video, don't you? Should they follow the path? Bob's looking at something. We'll find out. I don't want to go in there, Edna said. But she wasn't telling Carla the truth. Part of her was frightened and wanted to run away. But part of her wanted to see what made those huge footprints. Her mind made pictures of that animal. And one of the pictures, the animal was chasing Carla and Edna. Edna was running as fast as she could, but the animal was getting closer and closer and... Edna stopped right in the middle of her thought. I wonder why. Come on, Carla said. Let's go just a little way. So Edna was kind of thinking about something, and then Carla interrupted her thought. Now another part of Edna's mind was taking over. It wanted to see that animal. This part of Edna's mind was not terribly frightened. It made up pictures of Carla and Edna sneaking up on the animal. In these pictures, the animal did not see Edna and Carla. So she's kind of imagining some different scenarios of what could happen. In one of her kind of ideas, or she's sort of visualizing and painting a picture in her mind of what could happen. Like maybe we go into the jungle and then the animal starts chasing us. But now this other picture that she's imagining, that she's visualizing in her mind is, well, maybe we could sneak up on the animal and just kind of look at it, and maybe it wouldn't see us. And we could still see it, but be safe. Edna said to herself, if it was a smart animal, it would have found us last night. Maybe it does not have a good sense of smell. Maybe it has poor eyes. So Edna's like, well, maybe the animal's not very smart. Because if the animal was smart, it would have found us on the beach last night. And it probably would have noticed the lifeboat on the beach. So she says, maybe it doesn't have a good sense of smell. Because a lot of animals can smell very well. Like dogs have a really good sense of smell. And they can probably smell people if they're nearby. And especially if it's some kind of food. Usually animals can smell things very well. And Ed is also thinking maybe it has poor eyes. In other words, maybe it can't see very well. Sort of like when Miss Taylor takes off her glasses. Can't see very well. That's better. All right. Okay, let's follow the path, Edna said to Carla, but just a little way. Carla picked up a short, heavy branch. She practiced swinging it like a club. She's going to protect them. Edna picked up a branch, too. They were easy to find in the path made by the animal. So the girls started down the path into the jungle. They walked very slowly and carefully. They jumped each time a screech or a roar came from the jungle. They tried not to step on small branches that would make a cracking sound. So they're trying to kind of sneak up on the animal and be quiet and not step on trees because they don't want it to be like loud crack, crack, crack. Slowly, they moved farther into the jungle. Soon, Edna could not see the beach behind her. So they've gone in far enough they can't see the beach anymore. The trees over them blocked out the light. This is far enough, Edna said after she realized that the girls had gone over 100 meters into the jungle. So over 100 of these, 100 meters. Right, Bob? What do you think's going to happen? Bob's not sure. She's not sure what's going to happen. Let's find out, okay, Bob? Okay. Shh, Carla said, and pointed straight ahead. Edna could see a clearing. In the middle of it was a small pond. From the pond, steam rose into the air. The girls moved forward. Now Edna could see a small stream flowing into the pond, and she saw tall grass. So now they're looking in the clearing, and they can see a pond with steam rising from it, and they can see a little stream over to the side there, and tall grass. So the picture shows the clearing. There are no trees in the clearing. Everyone touch the pond. Touch the steam that's rising from the pond. See the steam here. My son always calls this smoke. So we've had to explain to him, well, if it's water that gets warmed up and it rises into the air when the weather's warm, that's called steam. Steam. Touch the tall grass. See all this tall grass? Oh, I see some other interesting things in this picture. You probably see them too. Okay, please read the rest of the story to yourself. I'm not going to tell you things to read for, so read carefully. Be ready to answer some questions. Okay, Bob, it's time to read. Hey, Bob, time to read. Okay, finish reading the story. Okay. If you're not finished reading the story, please pause the video. Bob, are you finished reading? You finished the story? Finish reading? Okay, Bob's finished reading. Okay, so Edna saw something next to the path that she recognized from a picture in a book. Everybody, what was that? A tree. Yeah. So she recognized the tree. And what else in the picture? What else was in the picture that showed the tree? Yeah, she's remembering a picture from a book about dinosaurs. And in her book, Tyrannosaurus was fighting a Triceratops in this book that she remembered. So when Edna remembered the picture, she thought of the footprints on the sand. Then she said, "Oh no." She had figured out something. What had she figured out? They are on an island that has dinosaurs. Oh, oh my goodness. I wonder what's going to happen next. Bob, I can't wait. How about you? What's going to happen, Bob? Are they going to see the dinosaurs? What do you think? What do you think? Oh, yeah. Bob's not sure. All right, what are we going to do next? We're going to reread the story again on your own. And then you're going to answer the questions at the end of the story. You're going to finish your workbook. And then you're going to read for 20 more minutes. Okay? Right, Bob? That's what we're going to do. Okay, so your complete sentence answers for today are, I think just one. I think we just have number 6. So in our workbook, oh, give me some head wraps. Okay. In our workbook, number 6 says, what part of the animal made the deep groove between the footprints? So you're going to write the blank, more headbutts. The blank made the deep groove between the footprints. Okay, remember what that was? I'll give you a clue. Bob has one, except she likes to put it up in the air when she walks. She doesn't really drag it behind her. But anyway, yes. Don't you? Okay, say goodbye to the kids. Bye, kids. See you later. Say bye. Bye. Okay. Bob says, have a great day. Have a great day. Bye, kids. Scholars, I will see you again soon.